Hey students, so the last of the discussion boards has been posted. So you'll see Natasha Trethway's Native Guard and also Alison Bechdel's discussion boards. They'll be, of course, triggered by quizzes, so you have to take the quizzes first before they will open. But yeah, those are the final ones. And I know, so this videos will be mainly about the multi-stage poetry discovery project. And just wanted to I've already talked about this in a couple of different videos, but I wanted to discuss, you know, the finding of the sources. So I've sent out an announcement earlier this week that got into the kinds of gave you some links to follow. So just know that you can look for do title searches for the specific poem, and but if you want to find a book, you're not going to find a book about a single poem typically. So what you're going to want to do is do a subject search for the author's name, and some of these authors, Sylvia Plath, Robert Frost, Emily Dickinson, have several books about them. So, and what you would do is just you look through the books and find references to a specific poem using the index. And so, yeah, you can find some valuable material because a lot of these books, they might be biographies of the poet, but they will um, get into critical readings of the poems often too. All right, so but I think most of you will probably stick with the databases that I alerted you to, and so yeah, I hope those will prove useful. Again, don't do any kind of web searches and just general web searches. Don't do that for this assignment. All right, so let's see here. I do need to talk about plagiarism. I have found plagiarism in journal entries and in discussion boards, and I want to make sure that you guys are just know that you should not be doing those kind of things. So when you use someone else's ideas in anything, that's not just in this class, but anyway, when you use someone else's ideas, you have to give credit to that person. Just as I know that if you want to, you have your brilliant ideas out there, you want, if someone uses them, you want that person to give you credit as well. So it's just an academic honesty kind of issue. Also, so it's giving credit to someone for their ideas, but also if you use someone's words word for word, you have to give credit to them you have to give credit by using quotation marks. So yeah, two things. So use their ideas, give them credit, cite them, use their words, put quotation marks around it, and give credit. So yeah, make sure that you are doing those things. This is not new material. I mean, you guys should have taken 1100 English 1100, if not here, somewhere else or equivalent class, and you should know what constitutes plagiarism. So if you do have any plagiarism in previous postings, on the discussion board perhaps, or in the journal entry, make sure you go back and you give credit to whatever source it is. And yeah, it won't look good if it's like Spark Notes or E Notes or whatever, Cliff Notes, whatever these things are. It won't look great, but at least you'll be avoiding a plagiarism charge, which could possibly lead to an F in the class automatically. So make sure that you just cover your butt. And again, these if you have any questions about what constitutes plagiarism, it's described in the syllabus. Also the you can find it described online. I'd recommend the Purdue OWL site. That's a really valuable online site for writing advice and style um, concerns and things like that. But also they can you can find information on that. So yeah, again, just make sure you are being academically honest in any activity that you do in this class and also in other classes as well. And then when you get it out into the world, just continue that practice. So, all right. Well, let's see here. The one last thing I want to talk about, that the multi-stage project. I know that some people get really hung up on writing the thesis statement, And I would urge you guys, don't put too much pressure on yourself to figure out how it's worded right, at the when you're beginning writing the paper. I think it's definitely helpful to have a good direction, like a good idea of what direction you're going to go into in the paper. You're uncovering meaning. You're trying to figure out what the poet's intention are. You can have various kinds of intentions, but as far as exactly how the thesis is worded, that could really be one of the last things you do before submitting your paper. So don't get too hung up on it. It's great to have a good idea of the general direction and maybe just dive in and write that first body paragraph, second body paragraph. Go ahead and just get into that. You can write the introduction last. You can write the thesis statement last. There's nothing that says that you have to write things in the order they actually ultimately appear. So yeah, maybe you want to go ahead and kick out, or not kick out, but go ahead and write one of those body paragraphs. Get that down. You might even want to send that to me. Just send me a body paragraph. And I can give you a good sense of how it's holding up. But yeah, so don't put too much pressure on you. Also, one thing to think about is, your thesis statement is, basically a statement about what your paper's about. And sometimes you don't even know until you write to those points. So that's one other reason why you don't want to write the thesis statement and be too rigid with it, because it could actually, if you do think of it as like you don't want to confine yourself. So it's best to keep the thesis kind of general, and just kind of just to have something as a marker. But when you write your paper, you want to be open to ideas that come up while you're writing, because writing can be a method of discovery itself. I can't tell you how many times I've written things and gotten ideas while I've been writing. Because if you think about it, it makes sense, because that's going to be your most concentrated thinking on the poem. So it's just natural that you're going to get new ideas. And of course, when you get a new idea, you have your concept of the thesis statement has to change too, to acknowledge or to account for that new idea. All right, so yeah, and there's just a reminder that there is a sample paper in the course doc section. So definitely look that up and read that over. And let me know if you have any questions. And so good luck going into this last weekend. And of course, we have about a week left in the semester. So take care. Bye-bye.